Hello everybody, welcome to Shady Bakes. How are you all doing today? Now, I have been on a huge journey in the last few months for macarons. It's been crazy. I haven't stopped making them. It's like an obsession. I don't know if anybody else that makes macarons have this, but any other baking that I've done has completely gone out of the window. And even though these are one of the hardest things I've ever made, they are the most fascinating. And there's something about it, I can't just leave them alone. So what I'm going to do today is tell you some of the things that I've learned. There are 3 parts of the macaron stage that I think make the most difference from my macarons. The first is the meringue, the second is the macaronage, and the third is the bake. Today we're just going to be talking about meringues. Now, when I first started making macarons, I kept reading everywhere that you had to be really careful not to over whisk your meringue. And what I've actually found is it's really hard to do that. It's really important that you get a stiff and stable meringue. Yeah, sure, you can whip up a meringue really quickly if you want to, but it'll be full of air and then you'll get your hollows. Side note on hollows, if you do get hollows in your macarons, please don't throw them away. Fill them with a scrummy filling, put them in the fridge, eat them the next day. That hollow won't even be there. They'll taste absolutely delicious. Trust me. So what I've learned about meringues is that yes, you can make it quickly, but the slower and the longer you do it for, the more stable it is and the more likely you are to have lovely full macarons. So today I'm going to show you my way of making a really stable meringue. Now what I will say is your mixer might not be the same as mine. Mine is a KitchenAid and I use a 4.8 litre bowl. Some people that I've spoken to that have bigger bowls or bigger mixers, or some people that use an electric hand whisk, have found that their times don't work quite the same as mine. But the main point I'm trying to make here today is that to make the perfect meringue, you need to whisk really low speed for as long as it takes. And it does require patience. I have got on my website, shadybakes.com, 2 different ways you can make meringues. One is if you're in a rush and it will do the job. But the second takes a little bit more time and a lot more patience, but it gives the reward. So let's have a look at how we're going to make that beautiful meringue for those scrumptious macarons. And we're off. So you want to set your mixer to speed 2 for about a minute. You're looking for large bubbles in your mixture. As you can see, I've got my timer in the bottom and it will look like it whizzes away sometimes. There we go. That's me speeding up the image, not my whisk. So there's 1 minute and you can see I've got my big bubbles and I'm adding my cream of tartar. If you don't need to add any in your recipe, then you can just skip that bit. So now I'm going to continue on speed 2 for 2 more minutes. This time you're looking for your froth bubbles to be a lot smaller and your whisk should leave lines in the froth. Froth, that's a hard word to say. Froth. So now I'm adding my sugar, half of it, and then I'm going to put it back on speed 2 for a further 2 minutes. After the 2 minutes up, I'm going to add the second half of my sugar and whisk that for another 2 minutes, and we are still on speed 2. As you can see, it starts to gloss up now. Starts to get a little shine. Now this is where it might depend on your mixer. I am going to turn mine up only to speed 4. If you've got a much larger bowl, you might want to go up to 6, but try and stay as low as possible. I'm going to start off by doing this for 8 minutes. Whee! I always have a little check after 5 minutes. I'm not really sure what I'm looking for because I know it's not going to be done, but just seeing how he is. There he is, look. Starting to stiffen up. Now, 8 minutes for me is the point where it's usually stiff enough for me to add my colour in. And that's what we're going to be doing in a second. I think I wanted a peachy colour today, so I'm going to do a little bit of pink and a little bit of red. If you want quite a pale colour, now is the time to do it. If you want a much brighter, stronger colour, I would actually wait until you're doing your macaronage a bit later, because the more you whip the meringue, the less intense the colour will become. So now I'm still on speed 4. I haven't stopped my timer, and I'm going to whisk until I feel like it's firm. This can differ from day to day for me. So today, if I remember correctly, I think it was like 13 minutes, whereas actually sometimes it can be 15, and I have had to go up to 17 before. I often stop it after 10, and you'll see it looks stiff and it is beginning to clump up. But when I dipped it in and turned it upside down, the peak still did have a little flop on the end, and we don't want that. It's a tiny flop. So I put him back on, and I carried on for another 3 minutes, I think, in this case. There you go. You can see there, still a bit bird beaky. Fast forward. So it should be really glossy now. And as you can see, almost all of it is clumped up into the whisk, and you should be able to tap it out. Oh, I dropped the whisk, look at that. You should be able to knock it out in one blob. Oh, 2 for me today. Next time. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed. If you do have a go at making your macarons using my meringue process, please let me know in the comments below how it went. I really would like to know. And it also might help some other people that have the same whisk or bowl as you, or maybe even eggs. I do actually wonder if the eggs are different in different countries, but that's another video for another day. Have a lovely day, everybody. Take care. Please like, share and comment.